What's going on, everyone? And welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. Folks, this seems to be a hot topic. We're talking about the helicopter and something flying around it or above it. Most likely above it, and I'm going to explain. Now, I've said this many times before. I'm going to show you a small part of the video I had done a few years ago about motion blur and what looked like insects or something flying in the sky. I'm going to let you listen to a part of that, and then we're going to get right to this video that shows something swarming around the actual helicopter. And of course, as always, you guys can be the judge. Let's just jump right into that. All right, folks, you can see it's from Perseverance, Sol 268, navigation camera. If you read the description down at the bottom here, you can see it says NASA's Ingenuity Mars helicopter acquired this image using its navigation camera, or the NavCam. This camera is mounted on the helicopter's fuselage and is pointed directly downward to track the ground during flight. This image was acquired on November 24th, 2021, Sol 268 of the Perseverance rover mission at the local mean solar time of 12:34 p.m. This was the date of Ingenuity's 16th flight. And of course, the image credit goes to NASA, JPL, and Caltech. So you can clearly see this object right in this particular frame. Now, somebody's put the frames together here, and I'll show you the video to this. This is iGadget Pro who actually shows this. Now, I've showed you a video a while back, and this goes back January 13, 2018. Let me just play a small excerpt of this, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as these other small objects with motion blurs. Let's just jump right into it. Now, what I'm seeing, and I'm going to show you guys this a little bit closer, is it looks like a motion blur. You can see it's like on, this one looks like around the 7 o'clock area, so that would indicate to me that this thing would be flying off this way if it is in fact a bug or a bird. Now, guys, there's no way of knowing this because, first of all, we don't know the distance from the camera that this item's even at. And secondly, it's out of focus, so we're not going to see any detail that's worth anything, to be honest with you. But it's just wild. You don't see the blur around anywhere other than right around between 6 and 8 o'clock, where you can actually see it's like a blur, so it's going up this way. At least that's the way it appears. Now, let me go back to this other photo. Now it's in the lower left. Let's have a look at that. And again, this one's got it now. It's more about the 8 to 9 o'clock position as far as the blur. That indicates it's going more this way. Now, anybody who's into photography, and you don't even have to be a photographer to know that, but usually a blur means it's something flying by, or if it's running by, if it's on the ground, right? But either way, it's something. All right, folks, I did this video, and I've been saying this for quite a while, that there's things flying in the sky, whether they're insects, birds, whatever they may be. And, you know, some people will say, well, how do we know that's not dust? Okay, we'll go with that theory. Here's the problem with it. Why isn't there other dust particles near the camera as well? Why is it just a one single? And this goes on for 3 or 4 frames, and I'll give you guys the link to this, and you can check it out, okay? I also break down some of these little artifacts that are in the camera, and people believe that there's some kind of UFO or craft, and they're not. They're actually in the actual camera itself. So check that out when you get a chance. Okay, so let's check out the video. And again, iGadget Pro, and you can see his insignia here, or this little picture here. He gets the credit for this. I do not. I believe they're the ones that actually put this together, so credit goes to them for doing this. All right, so we're going to jump right into that. And just for the record, what I did is I slowed this thing down so you guys can actually see this. And I put some more arrows in this so you can actually track this. Again, 6 times this thing goes in and out of the photo. I'm going to show you guys something else that's pretty cool. Okay, there goes one. Did you guys see that? Right here. You can see at the top of the screen. We'll see it come in the lower right. Right here. Right there. Next frame shows at the top right. Let's keep going. You'll see it right here on the right-hand side where that arrow is. Right there. And it peeks back out and then comes back out. You see it right there. There it is again. And it goes up and out of the frame. And then comes back into it, the upper left. See it right there at the very top of the screen? So 6 times, this thing's in and out of this. Now, here's the other thing, too, I questioned. So, to me, maybe I'm wrong here, but what I'm seeing is something swarming that helicopter. And you can see it right here. Clearly, whatever this thing is above the helicopter. Now, keep in mind, again, under the underbelly of this helicopter, it looks straight down to the ground, like it describes, and it does. So you can see its own shadow and how crisp the shadow is to the Ingenuity helicopter. That one is not. If you were to bring the helicopter up a lot further, a lot higher in the sky, it would not have a defined shadow like that. It would be more like the one on the right-hand side. So that tells me this thing is flying well above the actual helicopter. At least that's the way it appears. I believe that whatever this thing is actually swarming and flying around this helicopter, trying to figure out what it is. Now, is it something intelligently made, or is it a bird or some kind of weird flying something else? I don't know. But to me, that's pretty interesting. And I think you guys would agree that this doesn't make sense. What could this thing possibly be? Again, we'll show it again. There's the Ingenuity's shadow. And again, credit goes to iGadget Pro for this. And like I said, I just redid the video and actually threw in my other extra arrows to show you guys. Again, top right, you can see it come into the frame. Keep in mind, these are still frames, guys. These are not an actual video. I bet NASA has these smooth videos, and they can see this thing nice and smooth, flying around and doing whatever. Now, you can see that right there. As we go, you can see it coming into the bottom right. You can see it at the top right, where that arrow is. See it right there? I can go back and forth. It's right there. It's right there again. You can see it right there in the top right. I just didn't put the arrow there. And it disappears. It's right in here again. It peaks again right here in the corner, or right on this edge. Right where that arrow is. Comes back into the picture. Right there. Keeps going. It comes back around. See, folks, it's right there. Goes out of the view. Comes back into the view like it's flying in circles. It's right there. Starts going to the north or up the photo there. It's way at the top. Right there. Goes out of the picture and then drops back down into the lower left. This thing is literally flying around this helicopter. What could it be? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think it is. I think it's interesting. I think something's swarming above the helicopter, because probably being underneath it, the wind and everything else. Do you believe it's a piece of dust? I don't believe that's the case at all. This thing is above the helicopter. It's not a piece of dust, because obviously it's not stuck to the lens. So what the heck is it? And there you go, folks. Folks, I don't believe for a moment that this thing is a piece of dust. It's not stuck to the lens because it's clearly moving. It comes in and out of that photo at least 7 times. Now again, these photos are just stitched together, just put together. So they go from earlier to later photos, right? So when you look at that, you can see this thing coming into the photo, goes back out, goes on, it comes back around, it's swarming back in and out. What could that possibly be? Let's suppose for a moment it's a piece of dust. Now, wouldn't this dust just go outward and just kind of go out and then just kind of fall to the ground? Why is it only one piece of dust? Think about this. Is it dust, a micron of dust, whatever it may be? Why isn't there many more then if it's dust? Why is it just the one? Like I said in the video I showed you guys earlier, you see one, it looks like it's going upwards, motion blur under it, and then you got one going this way, and there's motion blur at the 8 or 9 o'clock position. What are these things? I've said this before, I believe, and I believe this is proof, that they're actually seeing something flying around on Mars. They're not going to claim what it is. They'll probably come up with something totally bizarre later on, and that's not the case at all. Oh, it was something else. It was probably just swamp gas. Guarantee it. But again, if we were to go with the theory of dust, why isn't there more dust flying around? Why is this thing kind of dancing around, like flying around? It's like it's going above it and going in and out of the camera view, and that's what we're seeing. As always, guys, be the judge. Tell me what you think. Drop your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Please like and share. It is always appreciated. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it. Anyway, folks, I will see you in this evening's hangout. It is 4:00 p.m. this time to try to accommodate the people who are in the UK and so on and so forth. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.